society.
Here we are.
Surprisingly.
It's it's at the shop now, so we're gonna start cleaning up and working on it.
How did you two meet?
Oh, me and Dean?
Yeah.
He was hanging out at Triangle too. I'd been over at Triangle, but he was hanging out at Triangle and St. Anne's, and I was going to both places. And so I'd see him at both places. And he kept sharing like he was a man in pain, so I could relate. Yeah. But yeah, and I could tell he was nuts, which I could really grab onto, because I was still nuts. So we're thinking of a yellow and black color scheme, including the wheels, doing the wheels yellow. And fortunately, this material, this is just a fiberglass, paint will stick to this. Paint's actually going to adhere to any of these surfaces once it's scrubbed down and hit with a nice gray primer, except for the chrome, which we're just going to shine that up, black out that bar because it's too rusted. And then the triangle shape, as a lot of people know, is a symbol of recovery. So we're going to use that in a repeating pattern, almost like the car is driven through some triangles. We're going to have that here, and then we got a couple of more logos that we're going to adhere to it. I had a sponsor who took me through the steps the first time, but he moved up to Ball Ground, which is not that far, but like we just kind of lost touch because that guy, Mark, he used to go to Triangle every single day, and I used to go to Triangle every single day. And then I just didn't have Mark around, and I was like, and I kept seeing Dean everywhere I went, so I was like, all right, you're nutty, you're friendly, you got your stuff together.
How many years you got now?
That's pretty cool. So it's 18 now.
Crazy.
But yeah, so I think I only had like maybe a year and a half when I met you.
Yeah, I was thinking 2.
Yeah, maybe 2. And I was pretty nuts. And he acted as my sponsor up until just like a few years back. I mean, when COVID hit, really, I just I lost touch with him because he was busy and I was busy. Fortunately, he showed me how to do a big book study. So that was really, I think, the foundational thing that Dean gave me was showing me how to create my own community in recovery. So I just followed his example and wound up starting one because I was still nuts. And I said, look, what am I not doing? And he goes, get a sponsee for every day of the week. And I said, that's insane.
Get a sponsee for every day of the week.
And I did that, and what I figured out was you have to start your own book study if you're gonna have that many guys. And so I started my own book study.
Yeah,
that's
been going on. Them all like once a week in the same space.
Yeah,
every day
that's what you have to do. There's no way to take that many guys to the steps otherwise. So I did that, and that turned into me having my own community. And it was funny because she showed up, my wife showed up to the big book study that we did together
upstairs
so long ago. That's where we became friends. And then, I asked her out, and now we have 2 kids, so.
Yeah, it's crazy how things work.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's we're Johnny Appleseed, we're uniquely qualified to carry the message.
Yeah.
And early on, you're one of the guys who planted a seed with you. Now you've taken it, planted a seed with many, and that's how, in mass, people's lives change. They start to live by a code. They start to live by principles, and the program's just a great way to live your life. And then once people get a taste of it, they're like, man, I'm just jumping in. And then once you do, all of a sudden you grow up, you get friends, start to like yourself. You get a family, and
they
the start to like myself part took a while, but yeah, I think that takes time.
My name is Mike Adkins.
Mike Adkins is me. He runs this place.
I'm wanted in 3 states. We're going to try to pick that up, pull it over here, and we're going to try to tip it. Then we'll rehook under here, and we'll try to lean it against that gravel pile. And the guy could, the bottom would be,
can drop down.
and then the guy can see what you got to grind off it.
so we're not getting can't really get an impact wrench on this stuff here. but I don't have a swivel. So, and even these other ones are, yeah, it'll turn, but all the tops have been peened over, so they don't come out. I guess when it was a railroad car, so it wouldn't vibrate and these things fall off. But kind of interesting piece. This big, heavy, it's about a 10-inch U-shaped beam. They bolted this little carriage house to it, sort of. And put in all, this is all braking system here. It's electric and you know, this is battery operated. That's a wire. And these are also hydraulic lines. So the braking system was apparently cut off here. But this lever here was where they would do it. There was one on each side. Yank that cable, slows the whole thing down. So we're gonna just try to cut this carriage off, and then we'll probably have to weld something down the middle to keep the whole thing from twisting and that sort of thing. But it should be a pretty unique little piece when we're done.
Everything's just, recovery is different out here. There's not a lot of druggy buggies. There's not a lot of, you know, the sober livings. They just wear us out down there in the South. But the people are just phenomenal. They're cool. Or, excuse my language, they're so cool.
Honestly, it's mind-blowing, but I mean, on track, consciously present of where I'm at, keeping my head where my is at, and just looking forward to the opportunities and just the whole experience. No matter how good or bad the day goes, just being open to it, thankful for it, and just super blessed.
I'm going through a real spiritual thing right now. I have wrote down a couple things that I never thought I'd ever talk about or write down ever again. I thought I left it where it was, but I guess it has affected my relationships with people in my life, and even the reason why, like, I joke a lot and I play around a lot and I try to be, and I always talk about like signs and why I'm always so close to God. I try to be close to my higher power. But I like what's happening. It has to be talked about. If I don't talk about it, then it'll be presented the wrong way.
It's difficult, really. Going to meetings, having to open up around people that I don't know. I'm reading my second step, so I'm getting ready to start. Applying myself to that. So, you know, it's difficult, really, truthfully. I just know that the reward at the end is going to be great. So, but it's really difficult. It's not something that comes easy, figuring out who you are, what makes you tick, what your wrongs you've done to people, all these things that you buried deep down in you with alcohol or just lies, and it's not really easy facing them, and then learning how to face them and still be positive and peaceful every day around people. It's not easy. So, but I'm working on my second step starting today, so interested to see where that takes me after being done step one.
Conscious contact. I never thought I could have that, but sometimes in the stillness I feel less empty, like I'm not abandoned in the dirt.
All right, a little update. Well, we're flying along here. You know, we got the fence started, and we're trying to use the old roofing here, and these guys are doing great right now. They're cutting some old tin that we got from Mike. It's the side of a grain elevator, the same as the stuff on the ceiling inside. They're cutting it so it's the same height as this gray, so it looks like a galvanized tin going across there, but it should be pretty decent. And we're taking these old roofing parts from a steel roof that my friend up the road gave us, and we're taking and cutting them down. We're cutting them into an L shape. Right here, this will cover the top of the post in there, and it'll hang down 10 inches. So we're trying to make some matching stuff. So it'll be on the top edge. We put this old door that we found that we had here. It's actually over a corn silo, off a corn silo. and it'll be the way back there to Sylvia. And then we're going to use the other one, just the red one over there, just to kind of balance the doorway. So we are rehabbing. Rehabbers, rehabbing. Love it. This is what it's going to look like. Thanks. We're taking this old roofing, and I ran it over with the car. We put it on that board, and I ran this one side over to flatten it out so I can use it as wall stuff. And this is off an old chicken coop right here. So I'm having cut each one in 36-inch pieces. And this is part, that's roofing too. So it's going to look like this. On the ledge, up top, and then this will go underneath it, like that. And then it'll come down and slightly go over this one, like that. And that will be the makeup right there. That's the design. I want a little more decorative than that, but it's such a big space, I kind of just want to get it done. Yeah, I'm going to put those, we're going to cut those out and more or less rivet that to this. So, you know, maybe we might even let it rest right on that. But there'll be a 2x6 behind this, and it leaves us enough room up here barely. Well, it's actually got to be a little higher. Drama. How many days we even here?
6.
And Tracy's family, through all those, an act of love, his sister, I guess, came home from the army in Germany, or wherever she was, for years, and realized he was in a recovery center, or out doing something, trying to heal a little bit. She got upset. I want you home now, here, right now. And I'm going to call the police to get out there to... What is this Montana Society thing? And I said, he can leave when he wants. You know, he gets paid for being here. And anyway, she's just a family that loves, but they don't understand addiction, and they don't understand codependence. So totally codependent. I'm getting him out of there. So anyway, they're gonna buy an expensive flight and get him home. We'll pay him what we need to, he'll get his whole salary from being here so far. But he was just getting onto the steps. We're just doing 4 and 5, which is when you start cleaning stuff up. But so I'm gonna give that to him to go with, and he's crying. He's unhappy, and he was just opening up to start healing some of the old wounds and getting a little further down into recovery. But I don't know. Not a very happy lady, let's put it that way. So, and I don't think she understands anything about addiction and all that. But if he's gonna go home and he's only got 30 days under his belt, not even, right? No, he's got a couple weeks under his belt.
He's got a week.
So, I was very direct with her. I said, you don't understand what you're doing, and you haven't been around even for 4 years, but yet you're gonna come back. And she was swearing and stuff, and I said, well, there's an airport right over here. Get him a ticket, I'll take him over there. So anyway, he's headed home. Sorry to see him go. He's very sad that he's gone. He's part of the team, and he was growing. Trying to get him through the process, but I don't think it's gonna make it. So anyway, I hope to God he doesn't use, but he's only got 14 days clean. So if he goes back to, meth and booze and other stuff, she will be schooled very quickly. So, and this has happened before. So we might get a call back from him saying, I want to go back out to Montana. She said she'll pay. So who knows? Anyway, and sometimes that wrestling process too takes years. So this may be his first introduction, which, and maybe God wants it to happen this way. He might be out using, hopefully not. But he's new. So anyway, one man down, 4 left.
Montana Society!